The land is barren, a stark contrast to the paradise it once was. Under Mufasa's rule, the Lionesses, led by Sarabi, look the Fieret. Simba's return is a spark of hope in the suffocating darkness. Ea approaches his shadow, casting a familiar, regal figure against the rock. "Scar!" he roars, his voice echoing with the authority of his father. The hyenas fall silent, the lionesses gasp. Sarabi looks up, and for a moment, she sees a ghost. "Mufasa," she whispers, her heart caught between disbelief and hope. "No, it's me," Simba says gently. "Simba." Her eyes widen. The lost prince has returned. Scar, initially shocked, quickly regains his composure. He feigns surprise and delight. "Simba, I'm a little surprised to see you, ... alive." His voice drips with false charm, a snake coiling before it strikes. It walks down, circling Simba, assessing his nephew, the unexpected obstacle to his reign. He mentions Mufasa's death, twisting the knife of guilt he himself had planted so long ago. The tension is thick enough to cut with a claw. Simba, filled with a righteous fury, doesn't back down. "Give me one good reason why I shouldn't rip you apart," he growls. Scar, ever the manipulator, turns the tables. "Oh, Simba, you must understand the pressures of ruling a kingdom." But Simba isn't fooled. "I'm no longer yours." "Step down, Scar." But Scar has an ace up his sleeve. He brings up the stampede, preying on Simba's long-held guilt. "But what about your little secret?" He hisses, loud enough for the pride to hear. He backs Simba toward the edge of the cliff, whispering lies. "It was your fault, wasn't it? You're the one who ran away. You're the one to blame." Lightning flashes, illuminating Simba's tormented face. He slips, clinging to the ledge, just as his father had moments before his death. The scene is horrifyingly familiar. Scar, looming over him, seizes his moment of triumph. "Now this looks familiar," he sneers. "Oh yes, I remember. This is just the way your father looked before he died." And then, leaning in close, he confesses the ultimate betrayal. "And here's my little secret. I killed Mufasa." A fire ignites in Simba's eyes. The guilt, the shame, it all vanishes, replaced by a surge of pure, unadulterated rage. With a powerful roar, he leaps up, pinning Scar to the ground. "Murderer," he bellows. The truth is out. The lionesses, hearing the confession, erupt. The battle for Pride Rock begins. Lioness against hyena. A chaotic, desperate fight for survival and freedom. Nala, Timon, Pumbaa, Sasu, and Rafiki join the fray, each fighting with the courage of a lion. In the midst of the inferno, Simba pursues Scar to the peak of Pride Rock. The final confrontation is here. Scar, cornered, tries to bargain, to lie his way out one last time. He blames the hyenas, calling them the enemy, unaware they are listening from the shadows. "Run," Simba commands, offering a mercy Scar never showed Mufasa. "Run away, Scar, and never return." But Scar's pride is his downfall. He attacks, and the two lions clash in a spectacular, slow-motion battle against a backdrop of flames. It's a fight for the soul of the kingdom. Claws flash, teeth bare. Simba, fueled by justice, finally gains the upper hand. He sends Scar flying over the cliff edge. Scar survives the fall, but his betrayal has been heard. He lands among the hyenas, the very allies he tried to sacrifice. They surround him, their laughter turning sinister. His lies have finally caught up to him, and he is consumed by the darkness he created. As the rain begins to fall, quenching the flames, Simba looks out over his kingdom. The storm passes, and a new day dawns. He is greeted by his family and friends. Rafiki gestures for him to take his place. With a deep breath, Simba ascends Pride Rock. He looks to the heavens, and a voice whispers on the wind, "Remember." He lets out a magnificent roar that echoes across the plains. The lion. It's a tale of family, betrayal, and the long, dark shadow that jealousy can cast over generations. It's a Shakespearean drama played out on the African savanna, and there's so much to unpack. Let's start at the beginning. From the very first scene, the contrast between Mufasa's family and Scar is stark. Mufasa is the beloved king, strong, wise, and celebrated. His son, Simba, is the heir apparent, the golden child destined for greatness. The circle of life is in full, glorious swing. But where is Scar during this grand presentation? He's lurking in the shadows, literally and figuratively. He's the disgruntled brother, passed over for the throne, first by Mufasa, and now by his newborn nephew. His very first lines drip with sarcasm and resentment. When Mufasa confronts him for missing the ceremony, Scar's response, "I was first in line." Until the little hairball was born, perfectly sums up his entire motivation. It's pure, unadulterated jealousy. He sees Simba not as family, but as the final obstacle to the power he feels he's been denied. This sets the stage for Scar's manipulation of young Simba. He preys on Simba's innocence and his desire to prove his bravery. Think about the scene in the elephant graveyard. Scar cleverly plants the seed of curiosity, knowing full well that Simba's adventurous spirit will lead him straight into danger. He frames it as a place only the bravest lions go. A challenge Simba can't resist. He's not just sending Simba into danger, he's testing the waters, seeing how easily he can control his nephew. When Mufasa saves the day, it only deepens Scar's frustration and solidifies his resolve to remove both father and son from the picture. He realizes he can't just rely on chance. He needs a more definitive, more tragic plan. And that leads us to the most heartbreaking scene in the entire film. The stampede. This is where Scar's villainy reaches its peak. He orchestrates the entire event, using Simba as bait. He places the cub in the gorge, triggers the wildebeest stampede, and then deceptively alerts Mufasa. The brilliance of this plan is in its cruelty. He forces Mufasa to perform the ultimate act of fatherly love, sacrificing himself for his Sunan, then uses that very act to seal his own fate. The moment Scar whispers, "Long live the king," and throws Mufasa from the cliff is forever burned into our collective memory. It's the ultimate betrayal, brother against brother. But Scar's evil doesn't end there. What he does next is arguably just as wicked. He confronts the traumatized, grieving Simba and twists the narrative. He convinces Simba that Mufasa's death was his fault. "If it weren't for you, he'd still be alive," he hisses. This is psychological warfare at its most brutal. He doesn't just kill the king. He destroys the prince's spirit. He burdens a child with an unbearable guilt, ensuring he will never return to claim his birthright. Run away, Simba. Run away and never return. With those words, he banishes the true king and clears his own path to the throne. It's a masterclass in manipulation, turning tragedy into his personal triumph. Years pass, and the pride lands wither under Scar's rule. The vibrant kingdom we saw at the beginning becomes a barren wasteland. This is a powerful visual metaphor. Mufasa ruled in balance with the circle of life, but Scar's reign, born of greed and selfishness, disrupts that balance entirely. The land itself reflects the soul of its king. While Simba is living a carefree Hakuna Matata lifestyle with Timon and Pumbaa, his home is suffering. He has suppressed his past, hiding from the guilt and responsibility that Scar forced upon him. He has forgotten who he is. It takes the combined efforts of Nala Rafiki and a vision of his father to finally break through Simba's self-imposed exile. The "remember who you are" seen is pivotal. Mufasa's spirit reminds Simba that he is more than his past mistakes. He is his father's son and the one true king. This is the moment Simba finally begins to shed the guilt and embrace his destiny. He stops running from his past and decides to run toward his future, toward his responsibility to his pride and his kingdom. The final confrontation between Simba and Scar is electric. It's not just a physical battle. It's a battle for the truth. When Scar tries to use the same psychological trick again, trying to paint Simba as the murderer in front of the whole pride, Simba is ready. He accepts responsibility, showing his growth and maturity. But the tide turns when Scar, overconfident and gloating, whispers the truth to Simba. I killed Mufasa. That's the moment the spell is broken. The guilt that has haunted Simba for years is lifted, replaced by a righteous fury. The truth is finally out, and the pride sees Scar for the usurper and murderer he truly is. The fight on Pride Rock, silhouetted against the flames, is epic. Simba, fueled by justice, finally overpowers his uncle, and in a final, poetic moment, he offers Scar the same choice Scar gave him as a cub: run away and never return. But Scar, true to his nature, chooses deceit one last time, leading to his final downfall at the hands of his once loyal hyenas. He is consumed by the very chaos he created. The story of Simba and Scar is a timeless warning about the corrosive power of jealousy and the long journey of healing from trauma and guilt. Simba's victory isn't just about reclaiming the throne. It's about reclaiming his identity. He had to face the darkest moment of his past to restore balance, not just to the Pride Lands. Today, we're going to dive deep into the complex dynamic between this iconic uncle and nephew. From the very beginning, Scar's disdain for Simba is palpable. Remember that opening scene? Mufasa presents Simba to the kingdom, and the entire Pride Lands rejoices. Everyone, that is, except Scar. He refers to the newborn cub as a hairball, and makes it clear he sees Simba not as family, but as an obstacle. Scar was next in line for the throne, and Simba's birth pushed him permanently into the shadows. As a young cub, Simba is blissfully unaware of his uncle's true nature. To him, Scar's just his weird, sarcastic uncle. This is what makes Scar's manipulation so chilling. He preys on Simba's innocence and curiosity, luring him with whispers of a special surprise, and telling him only the bravest lions go to the elephant graveyard. Scar isn't just plotting to get rid of Simba. He's grooming him, turning the cub's own strengths as bravery and eagerness to please his father into weapons against him. This manipulation is a masterclass in villainy. Scar plays the role of the cool, misunderstood uncle perfectly. He commiserates with Simba about the pressures of being a future king, making Simba feel seen and understood. I was first in line, he says, until that little hairball was born. He plants the idea that Mufasa is overly restrictive, and that real bravery lies in breaking the rules. It's a classic tactic. Isolate your target, make them feel special, and then lead them exactly where you want them to go. In this case, straight into a trap. The elephant graveyard scene is a critical turning point. Scar sends Simba and Nala there, knowing full well the danger they'll face from the hyenas. This is his first real attempt on Simba's life. When Mufasa saves them, the confrontation between the brothers is electric. Mufasa is furious, not just at Simba, but at Scar. He knows his brother put his son in harm's way, yet Scar plays it off with his signature theatrical flair. Feigning ignorance, the trust between the brothers is shattered, even if Simba is too young to fully grasp the severity of what his uncle has done. And then comes the gorge, the most heartbreaking scene in Disney history, and the ultimate act of Scar's betrayal. He orchestrates a wildebeest stampede, places Simba directly in its path, and then alerts Mufasa. He creates a scenario where Mufasa has no choice but to risk his life for his son. The moment Mufasa is clinging to the cliff, begging for his brother's help, is etched into our collective memory. Scar's response, "Long live the king," followed by throwing his brother to his death, is the point of no return. He has murdered the king and his own brother in cold blood, but his evil doesn't stop there. He then turns to a traumatized, grief-stricken Simba and twists the knife. He convinces the young cub that Mufasa's death was his fault. "If it weren't for you, he'd still be alive," he hisses. This is perhaps Scar. It's the cruelest act. He doesn't just kill the king, he psychologically destroys the heir, burdening him with a lifetime of guilt and shame. By telling Simba to run away and never return, Scar completes his coup. He eliminates both Mufasa and Simba in one fell swoop, clearing his path to the throne. Years. Pass. Simba grows up in exile, haunted by his past but trying to forget it under the Hakuna Matata philosophy. Meanwhile, Scar's reign turns. The once bountiful pride lands into a desolate wasteland. This contrast is crucial. It shows that being king isn't just about power. It's about responsibility and understanding the circle of life. Mufasa ruled with wisdom, respecting the balance of nature. Scar rules with greed and narcissism, allowing the hyenas to overhunt and destroy the ecosystem. His leadership is a direct reflection of his character. Selfish, short-sighted, and ultimately destructive. The reunion of Simba and Scar is inevitable. When a grown Simba returns, he's no longer the naive cub Scar manipulated. The final confrontation isn't just a physical fight, it's a psychological one. And in his moment of arrogant triumph, Scar makes his fatal mistake. He whispers the same chilling truth to Simba that he whispered to Mufasa. I killed Mufasa. This is the spark that ignites Simba's rage and gives him the strength to fight back. The truth is out. The guilt that has weighed Simba down for so long is finally lifted, replaced by righteous fury. The final battle is epic. A clash between light and dark, justice and tyranny, the rightful king and the usurper. When Simba finally defeats Scar, he offers him the same choice Scar gave him years ago. Run away and never return. It's a moment of mercy, showing that Simba is his father's son, not a ruthless killer like his uncle. But Scar, true to his nature, chooses betrayal one last time, attempting a final cheap shot. In the end, Scar isn't killed by Simba directly. He's cornered and devoured by the very hyenas he used and betrayed. The relationship between Simba and Scar is a dark, Shakespearean tragedy woven into a children's film. But it also forged Simba into the king. He was destined to be a ruler who understands loss, carries the wisdom of his father, and knows the true meaning of responsibility. It's a timeless narrative that reminds us that while darkness can cause immense pain, the light will eventually, and always, return. Thank you so much for watching. What's your favorite